King is back, baby. I'm on gas. Yo, Flex with it. He's fat.
You there, sitting at home, acknowledge me.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Turnbuckle Weekly Podcast. I am your host, Casey, and with me is, as always, my co-host, my tag team partner, a man who once ate 40 chicken nuggets in a single sitting.
I did not. Oh, my goodness.
You did eat 40 chicken nuggets, though.
40 of them.
You ate at least 30.
Oh, my goodness,
But
no.
listen, that's not what today is about. Today is it's a day we've been kind of, getting ready for. We've been promoting this hard. It's been pressure, man. It's been
Pure
a lot.
pressure.
It has been pure pressure getting ready for this show because we got the one and only Tommy Gunnz with us today. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I'm here. I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, of course, man. We've had a short list of people on the roster we wanted. At first, we limited ourselves to 5. And then once we knocked out like 4 of the 5, I was like, we need to start making new lists. I was like, and when we start making these lists, we need to come up with like common names among the list. And you and Casper were 2 common names that we both shared that we were like, okay. So I was like, immediately, that's who we want. Because I was like, we got to pick a tag team. We got to pick a this. And peer pressure was it was a commonality on our list. So we had to make sure we get it done. You guys are probably one of the reasons we enjoyed our first show so much. And our first show was Independence Day, where y'all were jumping everybody before. We didn't know nothing. And we just see y'all come out, you come out, start yelling, shouting, charisma going all over the place. We were immediately zeroed into that match. So this is one we've been pretty excited about ourselves.
Thank you very much, man. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad y'all enjoy the show and that y'all are helping to enjoy the show by peer pressure. I work hard to entertain the people, so
That's right.
Man,
I'm here. There's some people out there entertained.
Oh, I'm going to tell you what, man. I also got to tell you, before I start my line of questioning, I got to tell you a real funny story. We started working with WWA recently. I think Owensboro was my second show on staff. And I invited my brother to the show and told my brother, bring my kids out. He had my kids while I was working. I said, I need you to bring the boys out to the show. They get front row. You come around, you make your entrance. My 8-year-old sitting there got this fake plastic United States champion. And I see him like, y'all have an exchange with each other, and I don't know what's being said. And I run over to my brother, and I was like, what'd he say? Because Onyx made him cry in Bowling Green.
It was
So
funny.
I said, what'd he say to him? And he just shows me a video, and he was like, that's why your eyes go like this. And I started laughing because we also do that to him. So I was
bullied that child. We sure do.
I was dying. I was like, oh my God, somebody else noticed.
Oh, my goodness.
It was so good.
He was in the front row, and he was a target. Anybody that comes up to me, okay, I'm looking for people to yell at. I'm looking for people to say stuff to all the time. So he should have made himself a target.
That's what I told. See, when Onyx made him cry, he's sitting there shouting at Onyx, and Onyx turns around and tells him to go learn how to read a book or something. Just hits him with something real elementary, just something you'd hit with a kid with. Well, Stark, that's the kid's name. He can't read that well, so he is like, he takes it personal, and he gets so upset.
Starts crying.
And Josh's wife is sitting behind us, and she gets up, and she's like, I'm so sorry that he did that. I was like, what? No, he's sensitive, bro.
But see, this was, we sent him to the bathroom to clean himself up.
He threw his head on my shoulder, and he's crying, and he goes, I'm so mad. I said, dude, if you don't go to the bathroom and get your shit together, I was like, you need to do something. I said, this is embarrassing, big dog. You had a wrestling show.
It was funny because, he was crying, and so we sent him to the bathroom to get all cleaned up. And then, we're talking to Onyx's wife, and he comes out of the bathroom, and he's all... and he walks past us, and he goes... I'm going to yell at him again. I said, dude, sit down before you start crying a second time. I was like, just sit down.
He said,
stop.
he goes, he made fun of me because I don't know how to read. I said, dude, he doesn't know you can't read. He doesn't know you.
Yeah, he had no idea.
I had to reason with him.
No clue.
And then Josh came up to me to introduce himself in Livermore, and he was like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry I made your kid cry. I said, fuck them kids. Like, immediately, I was like, no, you don't apologize for nothing. If you're in a front row and you're yelling at a wrestler, that's what you get.
Yep.
Should have slapped him.
100%.
But anyway, I do want to just go over a couple common things I always ask everybody, and the first one's always because I remember where I was when I fell in love with this. You know, I can tell you exactly the moment. Undertaker going out, he's cutting a promo. He's about to wrestle, I think. Then I don't remember exactly who he's wrestling, but I remember the promo. They're in like the graveyard, scared the shit out of me. Fell in love with wrestling immediately. What was that moment for you? What made you fall in love with this? And then who was the wrestler that made you say, I'm going to do this one day?
Man, you know the crazy thing? Everybody has those stories of like, they know exactly where they were when they fell in love with wrestling. But for me, I try to search for it. I think about it. My first moment was because I've always been into wrestling. Like my family, I got a grandma that always watched wrestling. My grandpa always watched wrestling. So as I was born, I kind of just around, always had it on TV. But I do have one thing in mind. I remember being at my grandma's house in the living room with my sister, who also watched wrestling growing up with me. And seeing Boogeyman coming out, and that's when we would always turn the TV off. I would hide behind the couch. If it was Boogeyman or Kane, those two for some reason just scared the crap out of me. But I remember those moments early on, like 4 years old, trying to hide behind the couch because I didn't want to see Boogeyman come out.
Dude, Boogeyman was crazy. Like I remember the last time that I think he appeared on, maybe it wasn't the last time, but the time before, when he came out, and I'd heard of Boogeyman, but like I'd never really seen him. And then the music hits, and I'm like, what is happening? And then he comes out with like a mouthful of worms and this clock and breaks it over his face, and I'm like, okay, he needs help. And I was like, he really had
music
something.
Music is just so scary.
Dude, it was insane.
My bad.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes I fall in these holes of forgetting that Leon is younger than I am, like significantly younger than I am.
First
so
of
I'm
all,
sitting here, he's like hadn't really
don't say
seen
significantly. 7 years. I am 26 years old. Leave me alone.
7 years is significant. That's a significant amount of years. That's a lot of distance there, man. Especially in professional wrestling, as fast as it moves. Because you're talking about, I haven't really seen Boogeyman. I'm sitting there going, how did you not see Boogeyman? I was like, oh, because you were like a toddler.
Yeah, I was
when
super young
Boogeyman
when
was
he was
going
active,
at Booker
yeah.
T and Charmel. Okay. See, this also happens with guests. Like when I found out the other day that Dash was just turning 20, I like felt like my grandpa. I was like, oh, dude. I was like, everybody is so much younger than me. But man, Boogeyman was really fun. I got to see him on Tough Enough before he debuted. He lied about his age on Tough Enough. He told him he was 35. He was like 42. And this is on the season that I think Ryback was on. I can't remember. It was the one on the beach, like where they're getting everybody off the beach. It might have been the one that yeah.
Yeah, because Miz was there too.
Yeah.
It was
So
before
like
Miz got started. So
Boogeyman's like, I'm 35, and I'm like, are you sure you're 35? He's like,
No.
yep, I'm 35. And they go, are you sure you're 35? He goes, I'm 42. Like, lie for longer, dog. They already knew, but So who would you credit then for like this is what like how I'm gonna do it? I don't know if you answered that part or not, and I just kind of blanked out. But
Probably.
like, who was the guy you saw that was like, this is I'm gonna do this?
Man, I never really thought I was gonna wrestle until I was an adult. So
Really?
whoever made me, yeah, not as a kid. I didn't think I ever had a chance.
Wow. Oh, see, that's
what I love about the WWA though, is like they give people who never thought they'd have a chance, and then it's like, wow.
So what went into the decision of like, because I'll tell you, anybody that says I'm gonna go get beat up every Saturday or Friday, whatever the indie is running at that time, like I'm gonna go get beat up every Saturday. in front of 100 people, like that's got to take some kind of a thought process. What went into being like, I'm just gonna do this then?
Well, I don't know. I was kind of searching for something at the time. Had a void in life, I guess. Really didn't have anything going on. Like when I was a kid, I thought I would be a football player. I always had big dreams growing up. So as a little kid, I thought I could go to the NFL. Then when that wore off, I used to do music, so I thought I was gonna be like a big rap star. And then whenever that wore off, I was like searching for the next thing. I wanted to do something physical because I was starting to get myself in shape. I was working out and stuff. So I was trying to search for something to do, and wrestling was like right in front of me the whole time. But eventually I started to come across the like indies, and I started to see guys that look like more like I could work with these guys. Like if they can do it, I can do it. And there was a spot for me somewhere. So that kind of gave me the idea of like to search for it and see where I could fit in.
So where did working with Chris and the WWA come in?
It was, but the story is most people have. I saw it on Facebook. An ad came up. I had been looking for like promotions in the area. I was gonna start wrestling, so I'm not from the area that everybody else is from over there. Everybody's mostly from like Central City, Kentucky area, or Evansville area. I'm actually from Cincinnati. So I moved to that area. Yeah, we can get to that in a little while. But I moved to that area after not finding what I wanted out here during the time. So it was really expensive to wrestle out here. You know, going to wrestling schools, mostly they want to charge you $1,000 and stuff.
Yeah.
So I kind of gave up on it for a while. But eventually that WWA ad came across my Facebook. And it was like, reach out if you want to try out for wrestling and all of that. And I kind of had seen some WWA stuff months before that on YouTube as I was just looking at random indie promotions. And WWA stood out because they got beautiful like presentation. The ring is beautiful. The banners are beautiful. The lights, everything is just so nice and it looks professional. So I was just like, that's in Evansville and all these places. So I was like, that was like attainable. I could probably do something like that. And eventually it came across my Facebook, so I was all over it. Reached out. They reached back out to me, told me when the tryout was. Showed up, tried out, and been there ever since.
That's awesome.
Man,
That's
like
awesome.
Yeah, like the depth that Chris goes to get the reach out there, that you can find it from other. And it's weird you say you're from Cincinnati. Like I've been noticing here recently over the last I don't know, maybe 10 years. I usually judge wrestling periods by how old my children are because I introduced them to it at certain points. So I say, let's see, Sam's 13. Yeah, I say about 10 years. Ohio has been like a hotbed for wrestling. You've got, like Jay Christ coming out of there, like all of I forget what that group Sammy Callahan had running in TNA, but he had a thing it was like a OVE or something like that. All Ohio guys. The Pauls are from Ohio. I mean, only one of them wrestles, but like The Miz, Dolph Ziggler from Ohio. Like, did you have like a big presence around you of guys that were just like, I'm going to do this wrestling thing? Or were you like I was, that I had to like search around for people that I could talk to about Mankind and The Undertaker and stuff like that?
Now, so when I was growing up, everybody was into wrestling. It was and then once I got to like my teenage years, it kind of like everybody else wore off. I was still watching it, and I fell off a ways and rest of it and got back into it once I was like towards graduating high school. And then from there, nobody else was into it. It was pretty much just me. I was just the guy that was like, he's always watching wrestling. He's always watching wrestling.
That's all right. That's all right. You tell him.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's right.
It wasn't that easy to find. But they do have a lot of wrestling out here in Ohio. And like I said, I'm from Cincinnati, so they do have little promotions here. And we got guys that do pretty good coming out of the state, but it doesn't have really a lot to do with me. I kind of just started to notice it, like I said, as I got older, as an adult. Now I'm starting to see some of the guys that like the local promotion that I used to watch before I ever moved to Evansville. Some of those guys are starting to do real good. They're at OVW now.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it's a good spot to come out of.
Yeah.
How old am I?
What was that?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Hold on, I didn't catch that. You kind of broke up there on the end of that one.
My bad, man. I couldn't hear what you said.
Oh, no. I couldn't. You started breaking up. I was letting you know you broke up there at the end of whatever you just said was.
Yeah, all I was saying was that there are a lot of guys coming out of Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
Ohio got some pretty good wrestlers going on right now. It's not like a central thing that they're all coming from the same trainers or from the same camp or anything like that. So it's pretty widespread, but a lot of guys are from the state doing big things.
And, you know, it's like... I just find it like weird how this goes. Like wrestling by eras usually have like places where everybody's coming out of. Like there was a time where nobody even looked at you unless you was from Texas, because that means you probably were around this area. And then there was a spot where it was like a lot of Tennessee guys, and then we had like a lot of Georgia guys coming in. And then now it seems like it's starting to move up. Ohio's a hotbed. Kentucky. I mean, people don't talk about it enough. Kentucky's got some crazy good professional wrestlers, including all those of the WWE. Got to plug as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? So I will fast forward a little bit to where you get into the WWA, and then you're going through your training. Come debut time, we didn't come in until, I guess, ass in the Southside Wrecking Crew's run. Is that how you started, or did you have something you were doing and then Southside just kind of came along?
Now, I debuted with Southside, but it started with just me, Q, and Casper Davis. You had Q on the podcast, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. It was a wonderful time.
Did he tell you anything about our debut?
Not particularly.
So the only thing that he said was that you all were in the same class, and when you all debuted, they were like, hey, we're going to throw you all together, and we're going to put the titles on you and see how y'all do. And you all just blew up from there.
Yeah, because I mean that's pretty much in a nutshell.
That's pretty much all
the bullet points that he hit.
That was it.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much what happened. I mean, when I came in, I was Q had already been there. He had been training for a little while. Casper Davis, he came in the same training class that I did, tried out the same day I did. So we had been there for about a couple months before I cut a promo in front of Chris, and we had a whole thing where they were trying to see where everybody was at and all that, and I guess he decided that he was going to put that whole thing together. Q was ready. I was a little bit ready, but we were just going to go with it and see how good we were, and they put the belts on us that night. We kind of ran with it for a while. I mean, it did a lot better than I really expected it to do, but we put in the hard work, so it all worked out.
No, and it also went through periods of transition and transformation and still survived all that. I'm gonna be honest, when they broke y'all up, I was super surprised. I was like, whoa. I was like, hold on. My wrestling brain kicked in. My little armchair booker, little fat nerd in his basement being like, I would have done it this way. Not really that mental, but my thought, I try to call it before I see it. And I was like, okay, what's going to happen? I was like, obviously, we're not going to break up Southside Wrecking Crew. They're young. They're, probably the fastest rising group of guys, factions or stables, whatever word you want to put on it. Just as far as achievement goes, I was like, it just makes sense to keep them together and keep them on this momentum. Onyx is on this crazy uptick right now. You and Casper on this crazy uptick. Q was starting to really make his name hardcore. All these different things like that. All you guys were rising in your specific areas. It didn't make any sense. And I was like, oh, man. But, you guys went through so much transition. It was almost like that was the logical next step. You went from Southside Wrecking Crew to world-class Wrecking Crew back to Southside, but with Onyx. So a story I've always been curious about. I wanted to save it. We talked to Q, and then we've talked to Quincy, but I try not to ask all three of you the same question. Something specifically I was going to try to hit with was, how did we go from... So you said you, Q, and Casper. Where did the idea to throw Chris come in there? Because that's always been the... I never understood where that started. I didn't get to watch any of that, and unfortunately, I haven't made it to that point in Hysteria yet. I'm trying to binge it, but it is hard when you work, and there's so many episodes. But so where did bringing Chris come into play?
So my timeline gets a little messed up. It was a lot. If I'm not mistaken, Chris was in a rivalry with Stonewall at the time.
Big Stonewall.
And he was looking for some protection. So he came out and did a promo in the middle of the ring. Everybody, all the roster was surrounded around the ring. And Chris is telling everybody, like, he needs some help, he needs some backup. And pretty much Southside took that on. And we just started being henchmen for Chris because he needed to be protected against Stonewall, chase him around all the time, trying to get to him. So we would, like, fight off Stonewall for him and fight off anybody else. But then he made up with Stonewall and shook his hand. And he shook hands with Legend Sugars, and we didn't like that. He was shaking hands with everybody while he was yelling at us. He pushed me on my butt one time, yelling at us, going off on us, and I got up into his face, and he pushed me on my. But yeah, so then we got Josh Onyx recruited. He was all in on it, and then we pretty much moved Chris to the side, hurt him, and moved on.
That roster is packed full of monsters. You got Stonewall, you got Josh Onyx, you got Tommy Gunnz, who's a monster of his own. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's like, yeah, I'm trying to find the words for it because I'm formulating questions in my head, but trying to get it all together.
Lord have mercy.
Leon don't lead this show any at all. But so we pretty much we turn on Chris, we bring in Josh Onyx. And then, like, the breakup happens. Was that something that you guys were, like, ready to do? Were you guys okay with it going this way? Or, like, did you feel like that's just kind of the logical next way to go? Is you and Casper go off, collect more gold? I mean, like, what was the thought process whenever that happened?
How much we shooting here versus kayfabe? You gotta let me know.
No, you can mix as much as you want. It don't matter to me.
Okay, so I wasn't really that we were gonna end Southside because it was a very strong group. A lot of people hated us. It was a really big match, and I can give it that. We made a really big match. We were the only ones on the poster, which feels good to, like, be in a main event of that stature. And I mean, it was a packed house. It was in Owensboro, like the most people I've ever seen in Owensboro. But I would have thought that maybe High Society was going to be over. It's been a long-term thing. I heard y'all say on one of y'all podcasts that High Society have been heels.
Right.
So High Society is a thing that goes back real far with a lot of different members. Do y'all even know that Vanderpool was High Society?
Yes. Yeah. So my 12-year-old's been binging, and because he has no job or no responsibilities or anything to do.
No, what a
That's
child.
all he does. Like, if you saw my YouTube right now, it's diabolical how much WWA is on it that I didn't watch.
It's unhealthy.
Like, so
it is unhealthy.
It's the only thing he's consuming. So he's sitting there and he'll call me because he's got a cell phone now, and he'll call me up and be like, "Dad, did you know Clay Williams was in High Society?"
And that's
I'm
how
like,
he talks. That's
and I'm
literally
like,
how he
yeah,
talks.
that's a perfect spot on impression if you ever talk to the kid. Did you know this? Because wow. And then run away. That's what he did with Southside. He was like, "Dad, did you know there's been Chris Waddell was in Southside Wrecking Crew? Did you?" I was like, "Are you already that far?" That's how I figured out he was that far in. I was like, "Are you already that far in?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm already till like January." I was like, "Of this year?" He's like, yeah, of this year.
Like, I remember being over at your house one day, and Sam was talking about WWA and Southside Wrecking Crew, and he was pacing back and forth, like, in your living room, and he was like, "I bet Tommy Gunnz and Casper Davis are going to do this. Oh, but what if Q comes? And then, oh, Chris Waddell's going to come back and he's going to hurt this. Oh, do you think?" And I'm like, "Sam, sit down and shut up. Give me a second."
It's the only thing he
Lord have
consumes.
mercy.
I think he knows more about, like, the past of WWA than, like, Chris would at this point. He's just
I'm telling you right now.
recently.
I'm telling you right now. The moment that he sits anywhere near me and he goes, "Did you know that I found a long lost tape of WWA from the trampoline days?" I'm gonna be like, "You need help."
It is insane, man. But so somehow, I was talking to Q about it last night because it's what really upset me when y'all broke up. Or did I say Q?
You did.
Oh, see, I'm talking too fast for my own good.
You are.
And we were talking to Casper last night, and I was telling him a story. I asked him to remember. We were in Litchfield or something, and, like, you straight up almost got your head took off by old man's cane.
Bowling Green.
Bowling Green? Was that what it was?
It's Bowling Green.
I don't know if you remember that, but I got to, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen out of a wrestling fan in my entire life. I don't know what y'all said to that man. I don't know what you did to upset him so much. But he stood up and swung that cane at y'all, and I was like, this is gold.
And it turns out it happened twice. It almost happened again.
Yeah, it almost happened again. Same guy.
Oh my gosh.
Same guy. So do you remember that night pretty well, or?
I remember when we disbanded, me and the rest of the group were leaving, and as we were about to go through the curtain, there was some old guy swinging his cane. That's the only time I really remember it happening.
It was Owensboro
all
then.
the time. It's hard for me to remember all these interactions.
It was Owensboro. It was Owensboro.
And that's when I remember it.
Bro, that was one of the funniest things ever, because like it's just like we were watching all four of y'all's faces, and y'all do a really good job of not letting anything anybody says like make you kind of like break a little bit, but all four of you broke simultaneously. Like I just saw each one of you start smiling when you dug back from the cage. You said, "Oh," and start smiling. I said, "Oh, he broke him. He broke it." It was so funny.
Onyx tried not to, but he got that little quiver in his lip.
Y'all get, and the yell. It's the yell.
Oh, the pressure.
I love that so much. Where did you get the idea to do that? Just that's how you're going to start walking out of the curtain every time.
It just happened naturally, really, because when we were at Southside, I just decided that I was going to yell it out. And at first, I just used to yell Southside, not holding it or anything like that. But eventually, it just kind of got longer and longer. And I just realized that I was doing it. So it just kind of became a thing. And I just started to see how long I could hold it. And, I mean, everybody at Southside, we kind of were in between. They liked us or they didn't like us. It was kind of half and half, but a lot of people did like us. So they
Southside kid loved you.
What's that?
Southside kid.
Yeah, there's that one kid that he wears y'all shirts to everything. That's what we call him because we don't know his name.
Yeah, shout out to my boy. He's one of my biggest fans. I like him a lot. He's always there for me, no matter what.
He's a great kid,
every
man.
time.
He always smart.
When you all broke up, I thought you ripped his heart out. It was
that was 50% of my attention was right there. As soon as the ref counts 1, 2, 3, I immediately shifted attention, and I was like, boom, what's he gonna do? Because I'm sitting there like I'm whispering to Leon the whole show. I was like, if they lose, that kid is gonna full on crash out.
It's funny because there's two kids that were the exact same. So there's the one kid who screamed at Clay Williams about the Wildberry Pop-Tart attire.
Yes, they're just on the opposite ends of the spectrum. Yeah.
Yes, and then there's Southside kid who were total opposites, but they blended so well.
It's
so funny.
Like the fan interactions y'all get though
is insane.
Like, is insane. So like, and the dynamic between you and Casper works out so well. Do you guys like? Do you find that comes natural? That just like, cause you're sitting there, you're yelling at him, yelling pressure. Southside when it was that, Casper's just walking behind. Is that something that was by design, or y'all just walked out and said, "Hey, I'm gonna do my own thing. You do your own thing," and then it just ended up being perfect?
Well, I pretty much like to be the energy. I like to be the tone setter. I come out, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to yell at people. I wait all week for it. So I just got that energy. And people like to bounce off of it. Like Q, when we used to cut promos, I would start off the promo and he would feel that energy. And then he would go in and say what he has to say. Casper Davis, he pretty much is the same way. Like at first when we started Southside, he was real reserved and quiet. He was the quiet one. He just came out, walked kind of behind us, maybe held the belt, didn't say anything at all. But now that it's just me and him, he's directly feeding off of that energy. So it's pretty cool.
Bro,
I think it's just natural.
I was hanging on for that promo after the disbandment because I knew something was going to happen in there. And like I see everything going down, and then you just get in the camera, say what the new team name was. It was perfect. Like I'm just the chemistry that the two of you have. Like when I put the ad out on Facebook, I always try to do my end of advertisement as much as I can, especially like leading up towards a show. And I said something to the effect of that like the two of you are probably one of the best tag teams walking around the indies. I'm not blowing smoke. You guys have chemistry that's really, really hard to find. So like, was tag team wrestling something that was just kind of like, this is what I'm going to do? Or did you really just kind of see yourself more as a singles and found out you had a real knack for the tag team thing?
Well, I really appreciate the compliment.
Well, of course.
First off, I don't know. They kind of just put me into the tag thing. I didn't think I was going to be a tag wrestler at all. I thought I was going to just be a single, go out there and figure myself out. But then when they said we were going to be a group, it was just, all right, this is what we're doing. How do we do good at it? And how do I make the best out of it? Eventually, it just became cool. Like, it was normal. Like, we're in this group. Once you give me something, I'm pretty much all into it. So I love Southside. It was a fun time. I didn't want to do singles at that point. Like, once Southside ended, I really didn't want it to end. I was pretty much cool with Southside.
Right.
And so we didn't know where we were going from there, but we still had the tag team championship. So we kept doing the tag team thing. We recreated ourselves. I think it's pretty cool. I don't have a problem doing tag wrestling. I pretty much love it now. I didn't know that I was going to be doing it, but now I study it. I watch more tag matches than pretty much anything else. It always helps to have a partner out there, too, to bounce some energy off of. Tag moves are also cool. I mean, I love doing the tag thing. Really. I could do it again and again. Fun fact, everybody doesn't really know this, but I'm going to put that out there. I defended the tag team championships at 2 Halloween Hells in a row. The first one was last year. That was my first Halloween Hell. Me and Q defended the tag team championships against the Trend Killers, and this year I had to do it by myself, unfortunately, since my partner was injured, but defended the tag team championships again in the ladder match. So I'm a certified tag team.
Look, the whole time that we're leading up to Halloween Hell, right? Like we're all talking about it. How's this going to work? How's this going to work? I was like, there's no way that he's going to go out and defend these belts by himself. I don't trust wrestling anymore after Seth Rollins was in Birmingham getting his knee looked at and wasn't nothing wrong with him the whole time. And then he dropped the knee brace. I have not trusted wrestling booking injuries since then. I question everything always. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, no. Casper, because we didn't work there yet. I didn't have a chance to talk to anybody or ask anybody anything. Jen talks to us before the shows, but we don't work there. She keeps things very tight-lipped. So I was like, no, I was like, it's a work. It's 100% work. There's no way. And I was like, he's going to come out. We're standing outside the arena. I'm like, I'm telling you how this is going to go. Tommy's going to come out. He's going to be by himself. One of the other tag teams going to come out. They're going to team up on him, and then Casper's going to make a triumphant return. It did happen that way, just not exactly the way I said it.
Dude, I was telling Casper last night.
He is hurt.
I was telling Casper last night, you know, you can't be a tough guy and hobble quickly to the ring to try to help somebody and still try to be a tough guy. And that's exactly what he did. He did that exact thing. He hobbled and he slid in and he helped you and he hobbled back out. That's exactly what happened.
Then took the bump.
Took the bump.
So, like, that is insane, though. I didn't think about that. Like, I knew that you guys were champs, not... You hadn't lost the titles I'm trying to figure out how to like put it in time. But like by the time we saw you, y'all had not had the titles for long. That's what you had not had the titles for long.
We saw them beat High Society for the belts.
Oh because we saw it. So and then you guys carried all the way into then you carried even through the injury and all that stuff like that. So at Halloween Hell, did you just I'm gonna go out here and just try to figure this thing out? I mean, like. Was it difficult for you to do the shift and I have to do this by myself? Because that's also something you could say that I don't think anybody else has done is defended them by yourself, and you didn't necessarily have anything to do with the decision of the loss.
That's true.
So technically, you didn't get pinned for those belts. Was that like something that you found hard to maneuver around, or was it just I got to do it?
Yeah, I had to do it. I mean, it was weird being out there by myself against, 4 other teams. I mean, it was really weird. There was a lot going on. I just kind of stayed, to the side and let them kind of go at it and pick my spots a little bit. But it was weird being out there without my tag partner while looking at literally all the tag teams that are fighting for the championship. It didn't go my way, obviously. That didn't go very well, but... It's all good. I'm not sure what's going to happen in the future. Casper Davis is hurt at the moment. We'll see what happens there. But the ladder match was fun. It was a fun match to be a part of. Halloween Hill is obviously a huge event. I couldn't not be a part of Halloween Hill. So, if he can't be there, I got to defend him by myself. It was the only thing to do.
I tell you exactly what. You know what? Let me just throw this out there. To any tag team, whether it's the Golden Gods, you know, my boys, Natural Causes, which we're going to get into them in just a second because I've got something
You
to
love
ask
you some sugars, don't you?
I do love me some sugars. Any tag team out there that is currently keeping the belts worn for Tommy Gunnz and Casper Davis, I want you to know that it takes one Jackhammer Death Valley Driver combo to put
He's
him
in
away.
love with y'all's tag finish.
It's amazing.
It's all we ever talk about.
I love it so much.
When we talk about, we get to talk about
Whose
like
idea
finishes.
was that? It was awesome.
Man, we got that move from actually Alexander Knight. Yeah, I'm not sure if y'all know. Y'all do know since y'all been back there. But Alexander Knight got a big hand in my training as well as everybody else's.
Yeah.
I
Right.
mean, just wonderful wrestling minds that we have in the WWA as far as really a lot of people, but definitely as far as the trainers go. Ray Waddell, Alexander Knight, Tyler Hawkins had a lot to do with my training. Just want to throw that in there, shout them out real quick. But also Michael Payton as well. He gave me the jackhammer move a long time ago, so that's my own single finisher. And one day, Alexander Knight just told us, like, how about you do it like this? And we tried it out, and it just, like, blew everybody away. It was just so devastating. It was like, that's y'all's finisher now.
See, so I've been mistaken then because I thought that your finish was the angle slam.
Nah, I like to do the angle slam a lot. I can't
Is it kinda
finish
like
the
a
angle slam. I have finished matches.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a false finish then.
Mostly it's like a false finish.
Gotcha.
But like I said, sometimes I do finish the match with it. But
Gotcha.
it's the jackhammer. If I hit you with the jackhammer, no kick out.
Okay, now we're going to get into natural causes here. Now, listen. I was kind of blown away. Look, I know that you all are heels, but peeing in somebody's bag, that goes a little far. And, you know, now I understand that maybe the reason why they had to get new gear made is because that smell never quite got out of the old gear. And I thought it was very wrong of you all to do so. And what kind of sick, demented, twisted mindset did you have to pee in somebody's bag?
Man, we had to teach those losers a lesson. Thinking they on the level that we on.
It was just natural, right? It was just natural.
They wanted our gold, and I was just thinking, they want our gold so bad. We can give them some gold.
Oh my goodness. We love you, Landon. We do, Jace. We still got your back, but
They got new stuff. They're all right.
Every time we saw y'all after that, I'd just, like, y'all two come out and I'd look at Leon and I'd be like, look at them. They're pissers.
and he'd yell it at the show and say, he gonna pee in that man's bag. He gonna pee in
I
that
said, how you
bag.
gonna piss in that man's bag like that? That was
They'll never live that.
So good.
That was hilarious. I was like, next week they gonna shit in them. Watch them. Watch them.
No, I think they watch it after they bag now. They won't let us get them anymore.
Well, I mean,
They got them combination bags now. They keep them locked.
well, Jace is the only one that saw it.
That's true. Landon didn't see a
Atlas is the
thing.
only one that saw it. Landon didn't see shit.
Well, you know, hey, look, when you get to that 21-foot mark, everything's out of Landon's sight, okay? 21 feet and you in the clear. Imagine him as a security guard. Oh my goodness.
Sugars and Casper were roasting each other
man.
the other day, and like Casper puts his hand over his face. And he's like, "Who am I, everybody?" He's like, "Look around." He's like, "I can't see none." He says
He's like,
something,
I'm Landon.
He says something silly, and then Sugar starts limping, and he's like, "Oh yeah, who am I?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm about to get this kid so hard," because I see Matija walking behind him, and I went Ty, and like he threw everything off, and he was like, "Well, shit, him too."
He's like, no, I'm Casper.
that kid wasn't even ready. He wasn't ready for it at all.
Oh my goodness. It's
No,
funny
that
because
was-
when Casey told me that, I said, what you should have done, Casey, is you should have grabbed a towel and threw it over your head and put a hat on and walk around and just look down all the time. You'd be Casper. But now, and that's the thing about the locker room is like everybody loves each other so much that, there's no hard feelings. Everybody knows that at the end of the day, it's a family. Family picks on each other. And you don't get that in a lot of the locker rooms. I feel like there's a lot of ego in a lot of other locker rooms, and I don't feel that so far. So, to anybody that's ever maybe worked for the WWA who's had a problem with a locker room, fall off a bridge.
Which brings me to another thing that I've started to notice amongst everybody is like, it doesn't seem to take anybody long to really get adjusted there. Now, like Q told us when he started, he was like, I kind of found it hard to integrate into that like family style thing they got going on. Did you find it incredibly easy to just jump in there and be like, yeah, Sugars can't see, Santos sucks? Like, was it easy, or do you feel like it was kind of an adjustment, being like, okay, I'm not from here, I don't know these people? Because that's the way I am. I stayed back, and if people talk to me, they talk to me. If they don't, I'm out of the way. I don't want
you the voice and I'm the face.
I don't want to bother nobody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, did you find it easy to kind of integrate into that?
Nah, not at all. Not personally, because that's just me. I'm kind of like a loner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just to myself. I'm not that social. I mean, y'all have seen it a little bit probably. I don't talk a whole lot. I kind of stay to myself.
I did.
Everybody else. Go ahead.
No, I said, yeah, I definitely have.
Well, we got your back, buddy. Don't you worry about it.
Shut up. Yeah, no, I definitely did notice that.
I might not sit there and have these long conversations, but I love everybody in the locker room. I mean, WWA is my favorite thing in life, literally. I look forward to Saturdays more than anything else. It's my favorite place to be. I mean, those are my favorite people to be around. So, I mean, I'm not a huge talker. I don't talk all the time. I don't just walk up to people and get in on people's conversations and things like that. So that's kind of like the norm around there. It's just family. Everybody's it's just one big party, kind of,
Yeah.
And you just kind of got to find your place in there. And like I said, I'm just a little different. I feel like I'm kind of, like you said, I'm not from the same place as these people. I feel like I'm a little bit different from everybody else, but they accept me anyway. I mean, people just know how I am. And I think at first, people thought like, oh, this guy's mean, or he's mad all the time because I got this like look on my face. But after a while, it's been a while now, people start to figure it out. I mean, like, you can talk to me. I laugh with people all the time. It's just kind of, I don't know, just the way I am. But it took a while before people start to understand me. That's just the way I am all the time, anywhere I go. But now people know who I am. They accept me for who I am for the most part. And I get along with everybody. Love it there. Everything's good. It did take a while for me to kind of warm up to that because everybody's all cool. Everybody loves each other and talks all the time. It was just a different kind of thing for me that I had to figure out how to find my place in.
Right.
Which, I mean, it's interesting to me that you say that because, like, you can't tell once you step past that curtains. Like, I can't tell that you're not somebody that's just, hey, how's everybody? Because of the way you interact with those fans, and you never stop talking while you're out there. You're talking the whole time, which is something.
Whole match.
Something I love. That's like when I first started, like I trained a long time ago, and I would just sit and consume like veterans talking about stuff. I'd listen to every interview about everything to like hear different perspectives on how to do things, specific to psychology. And like I always used to hang on to something Stone Cold said. When you're in the ring, you never stop running your mouth. So like the fact that you could go out there and do that while also having, I'm kind of a reserved guy. Is it just that easy once you step past it? Does like a switch flip, or do you need a minute to get to where you can do that? Or like, how does that work for you? Because that's, I mean, like I said, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, man. It's a complete switch. When I hit the curtain, I'm like a completely different person. I always tell my girlfriend, like after I get my hair cut and do my hair, and I transform into Tommy Gunnz on Saturdays. Because it's not who I am throughout the week or anything like that. It's a complete switch. But when I go out there in front of people, I like to perform anyway. I like to talk trash to people. I like being out there. I think I come out there looking good, so I'm showing myself off to people. And, I just think I'm good at wrestling and all that, so I'm confident when I hit the curtain and go out there. Wrestling is completely separate for, like, who I feel that I am myself. So, yeah, it's a complete switch, but I don't know. That's not hard for me at all, going out there doing that. It's just like I'm a completely different person. Then when I go back through the curtain, I'm just right back to regular old Tommy. I'm not sure how that works. I guess it's just because I like performing. But it's a weird dynamic because it's not really who I am, and I think that throws a lot of people off. So people that actually know me in real life, when I show them my wrestling, they're like, "That's you?" Like, that's not who you are. So they see me go out there yelling and screaming and doing all that, and it throws everybody off. So it's also the opposite way for people who see me wrestle and don't know who I am. They think I'm all loud, obnoxious, and all of that, but it's just like who I portray myself as out there.
Dude, I love it because when that music hits and you hear you say, "This is pure pressure," and you come out and start screaming, you got that cigarette on top of your ear or whatever,
it's a
the
pin.
cigar, whatever. No.
Is it a cigar
it's
behind
wrapped.
your ear?
It's wrapped. It's wrapped.
Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
But
It
it's
is.
a black and mild. What'd you call it?
Black and mild, yeah. He said it was a pin. It's a black and
I was
mild.
like, maybe he's got like a pin behind his ear
No, it's a
because
black and mild. The arrogance, like the arrogance of Tommy Gunnz as a professional wrestler when he comes through that curtain, you know, and it doesn't matter whether, you know, you're getting mollywopped by, you know, all four members of high society or whatever. That mouth, like Casey said, never stops moving. Like it's all the time.
Look, I'm
and I love it so
dumbfounded.
much.
I'm
It's
dumbfounded that
It's a black and mild.
someone who used to smoke black and milds like
Didn't
by the
recognize
pack
it.
a day didn't recognize.
That's one for me.
Well, you know what it looks like. My grandfather used to make these pens
No
that
one
they had
cares.
that like wood texture to them. That's what I thought it might be. I thought the man likes to take notes. I'm learning today that that's a black and mild. I'm befuddled at the moment that I was wrong. The fact that I feel like I got to go to bed and restart the day.
You do.
I was completely wrong. That's a question I have in my phone. I was like, is that
I'm
a
not gonna
pen
lie.
or-
Every time, Tommy, that you come out to the ring, I look directly at your ear to see what flavor of black and mild you have on your ear. It's every time. I'm like, which one he got today? He got that black cherry. He got, let's see, what he got up there? And I'm like, oh, okay, well.
It's the regular old filter shit black and mild. And a
That's
lot
it,
of people
bam.
don't recognize them in that area. I guess people don't really smoke the filter shit in Kentucky or on that side of Kentucky or whatever. So people don't recognize them. They're like, that's not a black and mild. They don't have a plastic tip or a wood tip or something like that. But out here where I am, these, what we call them FTs, are real famous. People everywhere smoke them. I don't really smoke them like that, but I mean, it looks good when I come out with it.
See what we used to do with black and milds to get away with certain
Oh, God, here
extracurricular.
we
Shut
go.
up, Leon. We would get away with some extracurricular activities. See, I was born in Kentucky. I was raised in Alabama. In Alabama, like if anyone wants a black and mild, it's one of three kinds. They're getting the plastic tip regular, they're getting a wood tip wine, or they're getting the plastic tip cream. So what we would do is we would take the black and mild, we get the cream because the wine gives me a headache, and we take the cream one and we would roll all the tobacco out into the package, and then we would pull that little, we called it the cancer paper. We'd pull that out, and then we stuff a little bit of some substance down the bottom of that, then a little tobacco and a little bit more of the herb substance, and just layer it so we could openly smoke a black and mild in my house, because my mother was like, yeah, you're gonna smoke anyway, it's whatever, and she just kind of went about her day. But smoking weed was something that wasn't cool, so we were like layering it with weed and tobacco, and then that cigar thing would like, it would go through. That was a common practice down there. Then I moved back up here to Kentucky, and yet nobody seems to understand like the beauty of having just a black and mild. Like I could just take a couple hits, put it out, I'm good. Take a couple hits, put it out. It doesn't taste like crap. It's all right. Like people just don't understand the utility, the diversity, and just the greatness of having a black and mild every once in a while. When I started to get to drinking like here and there, I'd be like, I kind of want a black and mild a little bit. Every time you go to the gas station, you get one, stale as all get out. It's upsetting. Kentucky needs to get back on the cigar train. There are some good, like cheap cigars you can go get your hands on. Not everything has to be a $40 stogie that sucks. I'm just gonna be real. Like everybody underestimates a cigar. I'm still dumbfounded that it is a cigar, and why I didn't recognize it as a cigar upsets me so much.
This has been the Tobacco Rant by Casey.
Hey, Chris Waddell Part 2 was 25 minutes about pot. So that's a lot better.
That's also true.
That's a lot better with this one. So I'm going to come down to our last question that we ask. This is how we usually wrap the show. It's kind of a thinker, so if you need a second, that's perfectly fine. But Leon and I like to live our lives through hindsight. Hindsight's always 20/20 naturally. We look back, we see how we could have done things differently, how we could have made things easier. It's not really a way to live if you view it as regret, but we view it as growth, learning lessons. So let's say you get to go back to when you first started training, as soon as you find the WWE and everything, you get to go back and you get to tell that guy, like, hey man, if you do this is going to be a lot easier on you. What do you think that thing would be?
I probably could be more consistent. Being Tommy Gunnz, I come out there in my trunks and all of that stuff like that, and I pride myself on my physical appearance, but I'm not all that consistent all the time. So had I been more consistent throughout, I could probably be in a lot better shape, maybe viewed a little bit better. And I think that's the main thing right there, consistency.
I like it.
I haven't heard one of these answers that I disliked. I still do tell everybody afterwards that I have a weirdest answer that I do like to share. We asked Cortland Moore that question, and he hit us with multiverse theory, like complex multiverse theory, that if he had anything that make it different, it might make all of the outcomes massively different. He's like, well, if I go back and tell myself take care of my body better because of the diabetes, I might not have ever met Jen. And that was years apart. So like his answer was a multi-layered, like 15-minute multiverse theory. And
like his answer was so good, it made you want to beat your face against the window because you had never thought about that before.
I had to go home and sit on my back porch and hit my pen and be like, I'm going to have a panic attack like, thinking about the consequences of this question that I ask everybody.
Space-time continuum.
So, guys, we've reached that part of the show where we say our goodbyes. But before we say our goodbyes, we just want to give Tommy a second. Let everybody know, if you want to, bud, let everybody know where to find you, where they can see your matches, where they can, all these things. Go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you on the socials, man.
First of all, thank y'all for having me. I really appreciate the outlet.
No worries.
Oh, of course, man. Hope to do it again.
Absolutely. Part 2.
Definitely do this again sometime. Do it like first conversation, right? Get everything out there. Then we can come back another time and have this talk again.
Absolutely.
But, if you want to see Tommy Gunnz, just follow WWA. That's the best thing to do. WWA is now on YouTube. WWA is now on TikTok. WWA Wrestling everywhere. World Wrestling Alliance. You can find me on Facebook at Tommy Gunnz. That's about it. Come to the WWA shows on Saturday. Be good wrestling.
That is exactly. What's up?
But no pressure. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. It was boiling.
You're going to miss out.
It was boiling. So
The pressure is on.
That's right. Oh, yeah, pressure is on. But no pressure at the same time.
Leon, go to bed. Guys, it has been a wonderful show. We appreciate y'all's time. Anybody that gives any of their time to anything I do, I'm forever grateful. Time is finite. We only get so much of it, and I value every second of my time I get. So I really appreciate you guys tuning in to listen. Speaking of going to these shows on Saturdays, this coming Saturday, we will be in Litchfield with the WWA. These guys are going to put on a great show. Come see me at the front door. I'll be stamping hands with Miss Terry. Leon will be cleaning up anything you might spill because everybody's got to do something.
And shouting stupid stuff at wrestlers.
And he'll be shouting stupid stuff at wrestlers. And emphasis on stupid stuff at wrestlers. Stupid. It's spelled like it's got an H in there. Some of the things he says, I have to cover my head and then say, what are you talking about, big dog? But I love him.
Would I be wrong if I yell at Tommy in his next match and saying that he's shooting his shot with no ammo?
Tom,
Well, I'm gonna yell back at you. I don't know what I'm gonna say yet, but say that damn spot.
I bet.
I have to apologize
It's a
to
deal.
I have to apologize to every guest for Leon. I still haven't made it up to Clay Williams how disrespectful Leon was.
Don't get me started on Clay Williams.
I'm not. Guys, we love you. Love each other. Love yourselves. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. Let's get through the week. Let's get through this thing so we can watch wrestling. Take a little time away from the world, man. Do what we really love and watch what we love. Because I'm going to be honest, if you're listening to me and this guy making dick and fart jokes, talk about wrestling, like that's pretty much what you do, man. That we are your bread and butter. Get through. Come on and see us over here. Leon will be having his BCTW channel. His other wrestling channel will be updating. Y'all go check that out on YouTube. We appreciate it. Thanks, Mom.